Hi, Karen Barber here with Prayer Ideas. And today I want to bring you another great idea how to connect with God in prayer about things that really matter to you. Well, today we're going to be talking about coworkers who are difficult to get along with. And I wanted to start out by telling you why you might find me, one of those coworkers, a little bit annoying, because I'm coming to you today from my home office. And I wanted to show you right back here. This is a desk behind my desk. And what happens is that everything gets stuck right there. I don't know what to do with this stuff. I put it right there. So I'm a messy coworker. So I could be very annoying to you if you're a really neat person. Well, the other things that coworkers do sometimes are really a lot worse than just being messy. Of course, I don't think messy's bad because I'm messy. Well, they might have other annoying habits. They might stretch the truth, as in lying. They might throw you under the bus. They might take credit for the stuff that you do and say, oh, they did it. They might be really nosy. They might gossip. They might say things about you. They might be just plain old mean and nasty and just not a good person. They could be uncooperative. They could be incompetent. There's a whole list of reasons that our coworkers are kind of difficult to work with. Well, today there's good news because we do have a prayer idea for you on how to pray through your problems with those difficult coworkers. Now, we do have this on our website, prayerideas.org. So I really encourage you to go to that website so you can really sit down, and you can read our article and you can think to yourself the kind of things that you think God might be talking to you about your coworker. And as we go through these big ideas, you're going to realize why this is important, because there's a lot of stuff you have to talk about with God about those coworkers. So we do say go to prayerideas.org and look up difficult coworkers. Well, here's some of our big ideas. We got 6 of them. The first thing to do if you're praying about that difficult coworker is to just go ahead and sit down and let it all out. Tell God exactly what's going on. Tell him what has happened in the past, what's happening now, the things that really bug you. Just tell him the whole history of what's going on with you. And that'll feel good because you will have vented and you will have gotten it off your chest. But the thing is, most people, when they're praying in situations like this, that's where they leave it. And they don't go forward and really get God's help on the different things that might be happening. Okay, so now we're going to go into the more of the directive, meditative, getting God's help part of it. And the second thing to do when you're praying for a coworker who's getting on your nerves is ask God, why is this happening? See, God knows everything that's going on underneath the surface, not just with you, but with everyone. And so he can give you some discernment. He can give you a word of knowledge about what's happening with your coworker. Maybe there's something going on in their life that you don't know about. Or maybe there's some triggers that they have, and God can reveal to you what those triggers are so that you won't be pushing their buttons. Of course, the other flip side of that is that God can show you what your buttons are. And I know I have buttons that people can push, and those buttons might be when they try to rush me to do something. So find out what those buttons are that coworker is pushing in you so that you can kind of get better at your feelings when that happens to you and recognize what's going on. All right, another thing, number 3, when you're praying for this coworker that's hard to get along with, is to ask for God's guidance and then really, really listen. You're going to need guidance about lots of stuff, not just about how to deal with that coworker, but how to take care of yourself, how to keep yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually strong, because you're being brought down really by this coworker. All right, another thing you might want to be praying about is finding those positive people in your life who can really help you out and build you up instead of tearing you down. All right, when we go to number 4, it's pray at least twice before you take an action. And the reason I say this is that it does take a little while to kind of figure out what God might be impressing on you to do. And God can work through a lot of ways when he's answering you. He could give you a friend who gives you good advice. He could, if you can find something good on the internet that helps you, you can have a counselor. Any of those kind of things are ways that God answers that guidance prayer. So pray at least twice. And the reason I say that is because you might be thinking about some really drastic things. You might, of course, be going to your boss to talk about it, and you want to say the right things and come with the right attitude about it. Next, you might be thinking about, well, really need to talk to my coworker about this. So that would be another thing to really be in prayer about. But hey, you may even be thinking about, I've got to get a transfer out of here. So your whole job may be contingent on what God is going to be able to guide you as to what to do with this coworker that's hard to get along with. Now, the fifth thing you can do, and I really recommend this for all situations in life, is develop what we call arrow prayers. They're on the spot prayers. So you're in a situation with your coworker, and immediately when you see them, you go silently, of course, you go, God help me. If you say God help me out loud, they may understand that you really don't like them. But no, say just a little prayer, up to God, shoot it up to God. God help me, and God will be there and help you figure out what comes next when you're encountering this person. Prayers don't have to be long. It could even be help. And so sometimes the prayer might be for you that you need to shoot up, like, Lord, help me keep my mouth shut because I'm about to explode with this person. So those are the arrow prayers. All right, and the sixth thing that you can do when you've got that coworker, especially a prayer thing that's going to help you a lot, is to pray for that coworker. Now you may say to yourself, oh, that's difficult. There's nothing I like about that coworker. Why should I pray for him? Well, you know what? Your coworker needs your prayers, and it will kind of change your attitude towards them. I had an editor that was really hard to get along with. I really didn't, I didn't care much for that editor, to be quite honest. And so what I did is the same place every day, prayed the same thing, and it was simply, God bless the editor and his wife. All right, so same place, same. So if you can get some kind of regularity to a prayer that you can honestly pray for your coworker, that's going to help you an awful lot in this prayer strategy for working with those difficult coworkers. But make it honest. And you could even honestly pray, Lord, help them have a good day, because hey, if they're having a good day, you probably will too. Well, those are our 6 things that we would kind of help you to pray for your coworker. And remember to go to prayerideas.org and look up coworkers who are difficult to get along with, and you'll find our whole prayer there. There are other prayers there too that you might really enjoy, might be helpful to you. One is stressful workplace relationships prayer strategy. So this will help you really make a strategy of how to pray through. And it doesn't have to be a coworker. It could be a boss or anyone else, even a contemporary, for that prayer. Also, we have a prayer on workplace stress, because stress is terrible and it really makes it so you can't perform your job well. And we even have a prayer on how to say those arrow prayers. So if you need help on how to pray, go there too. So that's it for prayer ideas today. And we want to just thank you for joining us, and tune in next time for another great idea on prayer that's going to help you in your real life. And remember, God is there, He cares, and He's listening. Thanks, and God bless.